Hey there, Tundra Nation, and welcome back to the channel. Today on Tundra Tactical, we've noticed that every time we dare show our faces at a public range, there are certain pieces of ancillary kit that shooters will use that help us identify who we should attempt to befriend and those we should avoid, like the gym teacher that dedicates way too much of his curriculum to swimming every semester. Stick around to see if you are one of the coolest cats and kittens on the range, or if you're just like that big bad B word, Carol Baskins.
Hold still, Daddy wants a snack!
Before we get into the good stuff, I want to point out something to those of you drowning in haterade. There were many of you who told us to shut up when we talked trash about the new M&P 12 shotgun. To this, we say, no, you shut up, because there's already a recall on it. Off to a rough start, Smith & Wesson, but you know, hey, it's nothing to say that company can't come back from a recall. I mean, SIG did it with their most recent pistols, but we basically called this one.
Gotcha.
Smith & Wesson is asking all of its owners to immediately stop using this shotgun due to factory defects that could potentially rearrange your face. One commenter was hoping that we would make a revision on our first take. Some nobody thought that this would be a great shotgun. That turned out well for you. Another commenter said we didn't know what we were talking about, and that's honestly a fair point. But somebody who definitely doesn't get the bit accused us of shooting our mouths off, which is exactly what we do each and every week. But this time, well, this time, folks, we were right. Take that, nerds. That felt good. That felt good. First on our list is a fairly innocuous piece of kit that most regular shooters will rock. Some form of ear protection, but not just any piece. Yes, ladies and gents, we are talking about the Howard Leight Impact Sport electronic earmuffs, usually in OD green. This is indicative of the guy who spends all of his spare time on YouTube watching what all the other gun tubers are rocking and deciding that if they're using something, it must be the best thing ever. The Impact Sports are the first moderately serious piece of ear pro that any shooter will gravitate to because they're relatively cheap and everybody with a smartphone and a creator page on YouTube is already wearing them. You probably still are sold on Olight and definitely part of the just as good crowd. Here's the skinny buddy. You will fit into one of two categories here. You're either a young broke adult who's doing their best to take the sport seriously on a limited budget, or more likely you are a middle-aged dork who is unwilling to admit that they're poverty pony with that Monstrum 3x9 optic. Well, that's not going to be spotted on the news the next time SEAL Team 6 raids a terrorist compound. My only advice to you, get good.
Fight me, haters!
I can't believe people like this stuff. But hey, if they do, I'll keep doing it. Next up is the guy with the dump pouch on his hip at the indoor range that doesn't allow for more than 1 shot per second or silhouette targets. Dude, you definitely need to find a new place to train. Either that, or you need to realize that the extra 30 pounds that you're carrying around is not due to dense bones.
I'm not fat, I'm big boned.
You are the definition of a tryhard, and you cannot realize why nobody likes you. You were probably that kid that accidentally fell out of his chair once at high school, and it caused everybody to laugh. So your thought process was, why not fall out of my chair every day for the next year to gain some form of validation? Training at an indoor range with a $20 an hour lane fee is the exact opposite of hardcore. I mean, there is a time and place for everything. If you want to drop the hammer and bust out a sick 360 Indy nose bone on the half pipe, more power to you.
Good job.
But if you try to do the same thing on the bunny hill, I urge you to refrain from visible disbelief when nobody immediately asks to be your friend. Also, there's already a place on most kits to put your spent mags. They are called magazine pouches. Grow up immediately.
Stop it. Get some help.
Here is where we get to make fun of ourselves a little bit. Any sort of commo equipment at all. Unless you're at a course that's specifically designed to teach you to shoot and move as part of a squad or larger element, all the radio's actually doing is notifying everybody else that you are at all times prepared to talk to all those friends you don't have.
I'm so lonely.
This is even worse if you have one of those fake Harris radios from wish.com that won't allow you to talk to anybody that's more than 50 meters from you, even if you do have a friend who's as big of a dork as you are. And trust me, I'm not short on those. You know what? They're probably not even my friends. They're probably just using me to meet Johnny B or something. Screw you, Volk. If I catch you toting your sidearm in a blackhawk SERPA holster, I am immediately going to go up to you and introduce myself. Not to compliment you on your holster or to ask for your advice, but to welcome you to the outside world of your mother's basement for the very first time. Congratulations, we're proud of you. This garbage tier holster is a favorite amongst morons who spend their day arguing with other people on the internet and preparing for... Actually, you know, I really don't know what they're preparing for. But they do go out of their way to slowly piece together a collection of garbage tier accessories into what can only technically be described as a kit, ensuring that no single item costs over a C-note to avoid suspicion when their mom checks their credit card statement each and every month. This guy definitely knows what high quality gear is based on his hours of scouring AR15.com and Reddit forums, but he can't afford Safariland because he's never held a real job. This might be the one time of the year where he actually does go and shoot his gun, and more than likely he will probably have a couple of changes of clothing so that he can take enough pictures to share them intermittently on the gram throughout the next year to make it seem like he's actually well practiced. If you see this guy checking his targets when the range goes cold, don't be afraid to let everybody else know that you've seen him punching holes with a pencil in his target before snapping that photo for the gram.
Ouch, baby. Very ouch.
One of the most important things you can do with your concealed carry gun other than carry it and shoot it regularly is practice shooting from the draw. Most of the time this is done at home with dry fire practice while aiming at a light switch or something similar to that. But nothing beats the realism of drawing and shooting with live ammunition on the range, so long as you don't pull a Tex Grebner. But if I see that telltale clip on your inside the waistband holster advertising to the world that you use a We the People holster, I will instantly avoid your lane at all costs. You are a brainless zombie who's easily manipulated by social media marketing, which is basically the lowest level of scumbags found in the whole industry. Thanks for that, Eric. I will assume that you also have an Olight thermite grenade somewhere on your gun or person with a Chinesium grade belt and True Glow sights all paired with your G2C and your Pro Mag Stendos. Your mind is a little too weak and your flesh a little too willing for most people's tastes.
Nobody likes you.
Your last girlfriend can be compared to the Manti Te'o experience. The AR that you left at home has one of those $40 scopes on it with the attached reflex sight, laser, and 2 extra pick rails for whatever other garbage you want to put on there. Oh, and it definitely has the word sniper printed somewhere on the box. You are most likely a member of QAnon and you avoid snacking on Pop Rocks while drinking Coke for fear of explosions. Your medical cabinet is filled with natural male enhancements and you still use Axe body spray based on those commercials from the 1990s. You're definitely the guy who claims to be stoned at a party to try and fit in, but everybody's actually laughing at you because that weed that got shared with you was actually just a closed cigarette. You also have a pocket fisherman in your car. Thanks for watching, folks. If you guys liked the video, make sure to check us out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Tundra Gaming Live. And if you want more content, you can check out these two cripplers right here. Just don't forget to join us next week when we still don't know what the heck we're doing. Bye.